Oh
But
my god.
but hello.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 21 of Happily Entangled AF. Today is a very special and fun edition in the series because today we are going to be telling childhood stories to one another from our own childhood, obviously, using food as either the catalyst or telling stories for which certain meals surround or define those stories.
Yeah, juggle memories.
And jog our memories a bit.
And down memory lane.
We are also hoping that by doing this, that it will trigger you to share your fond memories, childhood memories, with your partner or even with us in the comment section down below.
And with your children, if you have children, because children like to hear these stories, and sometimes I think parents don't share their stories because they think it'll be boring, but the children like
and maybe sometimes we kind of take it for granted,
Yes.
But you know what? Let's just get right into it. We both have 3 dishes that we try to keep as secret as possible from each other. But truth be told, we would have discussed some of these things before. So she might know some at least of what I'm going to share, and
I will be very honest. I'm a little bit scared about what he's going to make me taste. I don't like liver. I don't like sausage. Don't like kidneys or any of those things.
We'll get to that. The deal is, right, that she and I have is that we're going to share a dish and tell a story, and the other person has to kind of seal the deal by sampling that food. All right. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna start with the easy one, and I hope that this will inspire your next pandemic in-house weekend lime, or just something interesting to do with the family and tell some stories. So I'm gonna start with this one, and this is actually a barrel of sugar. Right. So my grandfather had a shop, right, as you know. And at the back of the shop, there was the shop front, and then at the back of the shop is where he kept his sugar and his flour and all of the other items that needed to be weighed, right? And he had this wooden barrel, I'm not sure if it's like an oak barrel, in which he would have stored his sugar.
Like directly, like in a bag?
No, like directly, right? So I just grew up knowing it in the barrel directly, And I would always go and help him weigh all of his items, the flour, the sugar, that sort of stuff, right? Into 1 pound.
Ulterior motive.
No, into 1 pound, 2 pound, 5 pound, 8 pound bags, whatever the case may be, right? However he decided to go. But with the sugar, I'm not sure if it is that the sugar was sweeter then, or if it was just simpler times. But I remember every time passing by the sugar, because the sugar barrel was closest to the corridor,
right.
And every time he passed, I would dip my hands in, right? Take some sugar and put it in your mouth, right? But you didn't just swallow. You allow the sugar to come down almost like to the front of your mouth. You keep it there. Play with it. And just let it melt. And that's my memory. There's one more thing about this. When the sugar came like that in the bags, and was emptied in the barrel, I don't know if you've ever heard people talk about when you get clumps in sugar. They say that somebody spit in the factory on him. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but I remembered back in those days as a child, my grandfather would tell me that that was when people would spit in the sugar and that sort of stuff. And I don't know if that was like to scare us from not having the sugar. But we would just eat everything else, and when you come up on a clump of sugar, you just avoid that. Yeah, you pass it up, So that's my memory as it surrounds sugar, and now my sugar gets to eat my sugar.
Like put it in my mouth and play with it.
You missed that compliment. I said my sugar gets to eat my sugar.
So funny story, right? We had a variety store growing up, and we too would have sold sugar, but we would have bought it already packaged, so we didn't break it down into smaller things, right? Because your story would have been from a little bit further back. No money. But I actually like to eat sugar, right? But sugar with butter. So I'll take the sugar out and mix it with some butter as it starts to melt a little bit, and then eat the sugar and butter. So it's like eating almost like a cake batter.
Cake batter, yeah. So I also remember that I couldn't wait. My grandfather would want to sell all of the sugar in the barrel before he would add any more, right? Before he would empty another bag. And I couldn't wait because when the sugar reached almost to the end of the barrel, I was too short and I couldn't reach it. So I used to actually have to like climb and immerse my entire body into the barrel to go and get a handful of sugar, you know. So I used to really get upset for that part of it because I couldn't reach the sugar easily. But that's my sugar memory. But I think I kind of mentioned some of this at least to you before, right? I don't think I ever told you about having to immerse myself into the barrel before. Yeah. But yeah, so and this was the closest I could have gotten to a barrel. So that's my first memory. Your turn, wife.
Okay, so my one, it's going to be honey and warm water. So growing up, when we get up in the morning, after we pray our first salah, which is our Fazeer salah, right? We get up and that's the first prayer for the day for us as Muslims. We come downstairs and we have honey and warm water to start our day, and then we go back and read. We read Quran as we got older, but when we were younger, we read Al Qaeda, which is like your primary book that you start learning to read Arabic in. So you'll have this first and then.
This is such a culture shock for me because I know that this is healthy, but I only came to know of this in my later adult years. For me as a child growing up, the first thing I would normally have would either be a glass of milk from my grandmother's fridge,
right,
or a spoonful of tonic. My mother used to buy, these iron boosting vitamin B tonics, and make me take a spoonful of that every morning. I know, I would have much preferred to have this.
Yeah.
So this is just honey and warm water?
Honey and warm water.
Wow.
And I didn't even put a lot of honey because, you're sweet enough.
Oh, but it's really good. Just tastes like diluted honey. It's really good. Nice. It's like a comfort drink. Nice and warm.
So you start your morning off with that?
I'll hold on to this. While we move on to my second of 3 dishes. So, my second of 3 is a full meal, dal and rice and smoked herring.
And is this how you would set it up to eat it?
So back in those days I was in primary school and my mother had already started working, but I was fortunate to grow up in an era where I lived close to the school, and at lunchtime I would actually leave the school and walk and come home to have hot lunch. My grandmother would normally finish cooking lunch by about 10:30. So by the time I get home at lunchtime, 11:30 or so, right, it would have taken me like 2 minutes to get home. And by the time I get home at lunchtime, she would have hot food waiting for me. And my absolute all-time favorite dish as a boy growing up from my grandmother's kitchen was rice and dal and smoked herring. And funnily enough, there was this one time I came home and I had 3 servings. Like, she dished out, I ate, she dished out, I ate, and she dished out a 3rd time, and I ate and licked it all. And that's how my father.
Did you grow fins?
No, that's how my father came to know, because like my grandmother was so shocked that she knew I liked it, but she did not like it so much.
Right.
And eventually she told my father about it, and that's how like even my father and mother got to know that I had liked dal and rice and smoked herring that much. So much so that I had 2 best friends in primary school, one named Miguel Babulal, who migrated, right, and the other named Antonio Gill, and you would have met Antonio and his wife, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I remember because you want to share the best thing that you have with your best friend, and I remembered making a note of the next day that my grandmother would be making rice and dal and smoked herring, and I took Antonio home with me to go and eat rice and dal and smoked herring.
And what did he think?
Oh, he loved it as well. At least back then. I'm not sure if he would still love it now, but this was a meal that has always held a very special place to me. I'm not sure what it is about it, if it was my grandmother's cooking, if it's just the meal itself, but I enjoy this even till this day, which you know that,
I like it too. So
yeah.
That's a good one.
That's my story, and now you get to dish in. You get to dig in.
Good. So I like it. So this is fine. But I used to do my rice and make a hole and
In the center.
Put my dal in there, and then I'll put the smoked herring in the dal.
So my grandmother used to dish my food out for me, and this was how she would do it. The rice would always be half of the plate, the dal would be half of the plate. The smoked herring wouldn't necessarily be in the center. I just put it there today. I think it would have been like on the other end of the rice here.
This is really good though. Whoever cooked it for you did a good job.
Yeah, I had to get somebody to make it for me today. But this is my second dish, and if you like dal and rice and smoked herring, please feel free to leave us a comment down below and give us a thumbs up or a love, a heart if you like this as well, because I know this is a favorite dish for many people. Sally, you like this too? Sally is drooling on the side there. We're home by Sally right now. So we're going to pass this over to you. You can start having some meanwhile, Sally. Right? What's your second one, babe?
So I might have 4 dishes today.
4?
Well, 4 things, right? Because that's just how I kind of
Okay.
food.
Okay.
So after we have our
Warm water.
warm water and honey,
Right.
and then we read our Quran in our Arabic. Then we have our chores to do, and after we do our chores, we will have to have a fruit or a fruit drink. So it might be orange juice, it might be grapefruit juice, or you might have the orange and suck it, or
Fresh juice?
fresh juice
Every day?
every day.
Every day.
Or a fresh fruit.
I
If you
remember
weren't
you-
having a fresh juice, you were having a fresh fruit.
I remember you telling me about this and going home over by your parents over the years. I know that this is a staple. Like even till this day, I look forward to going by her parents' house because fresh juice is always on it's always available.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the case with us. We grew up on packed juice.
Do you remember when we went this week and Mommy said she gets her oranges in her room every morning? So yeah, my father brings her fresh fruit.
Well, honey and warm water and some cold orange juice now, fresh squeezed orange juice. Okay.
You have to build up your day, you know. You have to start with pulp.
With pulp, which is like the best way to have orange juice for real, right? There's sugar added to this.
Nope.
No.
That's fresh. Fresh,
And
real
sweet.
claro orange.
And sweet. This is really good.
Yeah.
So my turn again, or are
So
you gonna?
hi to Sally's daddy. Thank you for the oranges.
Since you got an extra one, are you gonna show me? Are you gonna do the next one time?
Sure. So this is my all-time favorite. Hard coconut jelly with sugar in it. Have you ever had it? It's like the best tasting thing ever.
Well,
Normally I like the jelly not to be so hard, but the coconut guy had this one. So
Well, she says that, but in all honesty, this is one that she's introduced me to before. When we just got married, I always like to stop by the coconut man to get coconuts and have it right there, you know. And it took her a while to be able to eat or drink anything with me by the vendor, whether it's doubles
yes,
or.
because I would take it back to the vehicle and sit there, or I will go home and then have it.
And now she's having it from the vendor with no straw. Just start.
But we used to have it without straws when we were younger. Because
Yeah.
every Saturday morning, my father would pick coconut from the tree. He'll climb the tree, pick coconuts, and he'll cut it there. We would come down with our spoon to dig out your jelly, or sometimes he would cut the spoons off the coconut itself. But yeah, that was a Saturday morning thing.
Okay, well, she actually introduced me to this already, and I
we
had
got
it.
lucky, you remember that?
I had it only one time with you, right?
Right.
And
So we were
I
at
didn't
the
really
coconut
like it that
vendor,
much.
right? And then next to the coconut vendor, there's a gyro cut. And I'm saying to the coconut man, you know, this tastes really good with it and whatever. And then the Yahala, he says, oh wait, I will bring you some sugar. And so we had sugar and coconut. That was the first time we had it.
That was the first time I had it, and
Yeah.
I don't remember it leaving much of an impression on me because generally we're not big sugar consumers. Like this is more sugar than we would
Which is
consume
healthy,
normally in a day. But no, this is how you make it. This is how I'm gonna have it. You know.
I'm sure you probably had it like this before. And I heard the Mexicans actually have it with salt. Isn't it much better
Well, that's really
than
good.
having it without the sugar, especially when it's this hard?
But the sugar is melted, and it's like
Nice. It's
It's
like a
actually really good.
caramelized dessert almost.
mhm.
But you have to have it with a few crunches of the crystals. Otherwise, you know, it's just be like, whoosh.
It's really good.
Am I winning here or what?
Yeah. So see, sometimes you need a second take on things. You know, don't make up your mind too much the first time, like too solidly the first time. Give it a second try.
Okay.
Second chance or second try. Thank God for second chances that we married. Okay, so wait, one more bite of this. Hold on. I heard
It's
that.
too good, huh?
I'm hungry with sugar too. Okay, come up
For
here.
somebody who doesn't like sugar, you're trying to get more sugar.
It is really good. It's really, really good.
You can like your fingers.
It's a little messy, but really good. So now we're on the last one. And this one is a very special memory for me. So my sugar memory was with my grandfather in his shop. My second memory of the dal and rice and smoked herring was with my grandmother. And this food brings back so many memories for me with my father. So my father
I'm a
would
little scared for this one.
my father would take me with him whenever he was going anywhere. During the course of the day when I'm on vacation and that sort of stuff, when school is out.
I know,
And
yes.
and he would stop at the different bars and stuff like that, right? So while he's stopping at the bar to go and get his refreshments, right? The bars always had, at least the one that he would go to, they always had like a side room away from the main counter area, or a table that's far removed or something, right? And when we would stop at a bar called Fun Seekers Restaurant, which is on the main road in Gasparilla, right? That's Uncle Pone's bar, but Uncle Pone is now deceased, right? He was killed, he was murdered actually, right? In a robbery gone bad. But they used to sell a lot of food, and they were one of the first places in Gasparilla to sell that kind of variety. And I'm not sure if you would remember this, if you grew up in that era, but cutters were a real big deal. And the kind of cutters that we get now is luxury, decadent cutters compared to what was available before. This is actually a cutter's food that I loved growing up, and I'm not sure now, trying to remember why I loved it. I don't remember why I loved it. Maybe it's because no. Maybe it's because my father liked it, and I got the habit from him, because I realized like a lot of the things that my father liked, I sort of, I don't know if I was emulating my father or whatever. So I just kind of picked up on it too. So this is stewed chicken foot. It used to be a lot drier than this, I remember, in the bars. But we would pull up and my father would ask me what I want, and the answer was always 3 chicken foot and a glass bottle Pepsi. 3 chicken foot and a glass bottle Pepsi. I got my cousin to make this for me today, but by the time she messaged to ask me if with sauce or dry, she had already finished cooking it, so she made it with sauce. So normally this would be dry.
Oh
but,
my god.
But I love you too, wife. A deal is a deal though. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Yeah?
There's no meat in there.
Hey, I would sit, and I think this worked well for my father, because as a little boy, the length of time it would take me to eat these 3 chicken feet, right? That was enough time for him to lime and have a time with the fellas and chill and old talk. And by the time I was done, right, if he wanted extra time, he would ask me if I wanted more. And usually I have like 2 more, but 3 chicken foot and a glass bottle Pepsi. That was the flick back
Can
then.
I have the glass bottle Pepsi?
I tried to get that, but they don't make that anymore. But bon appetit, baby.
There's no meat in that.
You gotta try something. The area here.
Do you mind if I have the sauce?
No, you have no. A deal is a deal. You made a promise to not just me, but to everybody looking on.
There's like
No, baby. You gotta pick it up and bite it.
no. Are you
Yes.
crazy? I don't even bite meat. You no. There's like no meat in here. It's just like
There's meat. Look, this is how you eat
No.
it. You start here. All the meat's gone. See?
there is.
This is gone. Look how long it's up. Oh, that's really good though.
I don't even.
Oh,
see
spicy
it.
too.
What is this? This is like just pure. Okay, there's a little piece of meat. Okay. I did.
You cheat, that's what you did, but okay.
I ate the thing. Is it my mother?
Take another piece now. Just so you know, you're not cheating anybody or trying to cheat the system. Yeah, the whole thing.
No, that's not meat. This is meat. Okay.
Alright,
Not bad.
you did well. You did well. We'll have some sauce later.
Maybe.
Okay. So that's my 3. You still have 1 more, right? Okay. Sally, by the way, is just like cracking up in the corner. Hey, listen. If you still have chicken foot, whether you like chicken foot sauce or you still stew your chicken foot like that, the way I used to have it before, let us know down below if you have
Post some
any other,
pictures, maybe.
if you have any other memories of things like that, because I'm a gizzard man too. Our bread and gizzard, this tastes real best, but subject for another day. Let's go.
Okay, so this is Valkyrie. So generally, if you have steel Valkyrie, it has to be toasted with mayo, mustard, ketchup, pepper, and some cheese.
I remember this. It's like a pizza.
Well, sort of ish, I guess you could probably call it that.
Yeah.
So my cousin Leah, she came to school here at CUC, right?
What is CUC?
CUC is Caribbean Union College.
Okay.
I think it's
Okay.
somewhere
No worries.
north. Anyways, on the weekend, if she'd have time off, she would come down, stop by us, and she told us to do.
Okay.
So, bye then.
So there's cheese and condiments in this, basically.
Cheese and pepper and ketchup, mustard, and a little bit of mayo.
That doesn't sound bad. Dalpri and cheese sounds like something that is a nice reheat meal for the very next day. Dalpri, I'll eat dalpri alone the next day. Still dalpri alone, toasted like this. Oh, I feel really good.
I know, such a good cook.
That's really good. Okay. That's really good.
It was nice and crispy.
I would offer our friend Sally. She do it flour. So yeah, she bougie so. But she is gonna have a chicken foot. So that's it. We did well. Well done. The real reason we decided to share this with you is because one, it's a fun activity. You can have some fun too, and try to do it secretly, so that you're surprising your spouse or your kids or whoever else with your stories, and let them tell some stories as well. And two, it also gives you another dimension, I think, on which you could connect with your spouse or get to know your spouse, or even an intended spouse. You know, even if you're not married, as you're dating, you could use this as a little dating exercise, a little dating game, have some fun with it, and get to know your partner better, because food plays a major part in a relationship as well, and it's one of the things that is lesser talked about. You know, people tend to focus on things like communication and all the other important things in a relationship, but food is also
Very important.
major thing as well.
Plus, I think you get the opportunity to see how somebody would react to something before, because the way you react to trying something new could be not just for food, but for other things as well within your relationship. So,
So we have a lot of food to eat. I hope you enjoyed and had some fun with us in this vlog. I am having a grand old time, because usually the way it works with us, whatever she eats, I eat, but whatever I eat doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to eat. I suspect that might be the same for many of you in your relationships as well. But thank you very much for viewing. Please do be sure to
like, share, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us your comments. We look forward to reading them, and we'll catch you next week.
Bon appetit and bye.